Hey there, everyone. Today's video is going to be quite a journey. I'm excited to share my love for reading and the valuable experiences I've gained along the way to make our reading endeavors more effective. For me, books have always been a tremendous source of joy in life. I've been an avid reader ever since I was a kid. To put it simply, most of what I've achieved today, whether it's in my career, knowledge, or even my way of thinking, I owe it to books. But in my reading journey, I've made my fair share of mistakes too. Today, I want to share those mistakes with you all, hoping they'll help you avoid the same pitfalls and make your reading experience more enjoyable and fruitful. You see, I used to dive into any book head first, reading it cover to cover without much reflection or engagement. During my younger years, I mainly read adventure books and novels like Robinson Crusoe or Around the World in 80 Days. They were exciting reads, and my approach of just immersing myself in the story worked fine for those types of books. However, as I grew older and delved into more non-fiction and specialist books, I realized that my old reading style didn't cut it. With non-fiction books, the knowledge I gained seemed to slip away quickly. Although I could remember reading about a certain topic, finding that information later was a challenge. That's when I knew something had to change. I transitioned to a new phase, one where I read more thoughtfully and started taking notes. I found a simple tool like a pen or highlighter incredibly helpful. This way, all my highlights and important points were neatly stored, making it easier for me to revisit and review the key concepts later. Moreover, this practice trained me to be more attentive while reading, ensuring I didn't miss any valuable insights. Trust me, it made a significant difference in the amount of knowledge I retained. Around that time, I discovered Kindle, and it revolutionized my reading experience even more. The Kindle's e-ink display provided a paper-like feel, making it easy on the eyes during long reading sessions. Plus, Kindle's WhisperSync feature syncs my reading progress across devices, allowing me to seamlessly switch between reading and listening to audiobooks on Audible. Speaking of Audible, it quickly became my go-to platform for audiobooks. The convenience of listening to books while commuting or doing other activities significantly boosted my learning pace. Thanks to Audible, I could maximize my time and absorb knowledge more efficiently. It was a game changer for my reading journey. In my quest for improvement, I joined reading communities on Audible and discovered a speed reading technique within the app. By gradually increasing the reading speed, I found myself consuming more books in less time. It was astonishing. Now I usually listen at 1.7x speed for simpler books and 1.5x for more complex ones. You wouldn't believe the amount of information I can absorb with this method. So there you have it, my reading journey and the steps that transformed my reading habits. Ever since I discovered Audible and the power of speed reading, my reading life took a whole new turn. It felt like a breath of fresh air, and I started devouring books like never before. In just a couple of days, I could finish a book, and within a year, I had read over 100 books. Can you believe it? But with time, I realized I was getting caught up in quantity rather than depth. As my obsession with Audible grew, I noticed I was stuck in the first stage of my reading evolution, reading just for the sake of reading. Sure, I read a lot, but the depth of understanding was lacking. It felt like I was eating 100 fruits, but only getting a few bites of the juiciest ones. It was a waste of time and knowledge. I knew it was time for a change. I decided to focus more on quality than quantity. So I came up with a new strategy. Audible would still be my scanning tool, enabling me to skim through books quickly. It helped me identify the gems among the countless books out there. Finding a truly valuable book is like discovering a rare, delicious fruit amidst toxic ones. To ensure a deeper understanding of the books I selected, I began reading them twice, once with Audible and then with my Kindle. This way, I could absorb the knowledge better and make more comprehensive notes. Speaking of notes, I found a fantastic tool called Readwise, which perfectly complemented my reading process. Readwise synced with my Kindle and collected all my highlights and notes, compiling them into a neat folder on its server. Each day, it sent me a selection of random notes from my readings. I found it incredible. These daily reminders kept my ideas fresh, even ones I'd forgotten. It was like rediscovering the most valuable fruits among the vast orchard of knowledge. As I progressed on my reading journey, I shifted from Evernote to Notion, which proved to be a more powerful database for my personal knowledge. The seamless integration between Readwise and Notion simplified the process. Now, all my books, summaries, and ideas were neatly organized in one place. But the journey doesn't stop there. To further improve my understanding and retention, I adopted the habit of creating mind maps while reading. Each branch represented a chapter, and I filled them with my own words and thoughts. This allowed me to remember and retrieve information more efficiently. Mind maps were a game changer for me, and I want you to try them too. They don't have to be complex. You can use any note-taking tool you're comfortable with. The key is to structure your notes in a way that reflects your understanding, just like creating your own personal map of the knowledge you're gaining. For those unfamiliar with mind maps, no worries, it's quite straightforward. Think of it as a visual representation of your thoughts, like a tree with branches spreading out. Each branch represents a different main idea, while the sub-branches delve deeper into related concepts. It's a fantastic way to summarize a book's core messages, making it easier to revisit later. If you're new to mind mapping, don't fret. There are numerous online tools and apps available that can help you create these maps with ease. I personally use a digital platform called Notion, which allows me to link different pages together for seamless navigation. But feel free to choose any tool that suits your preference. You might be wondering, is mind mapping worth the effort? Absolutely. The act of organizing your thoughts and ideas through mind mapping solidifies your understanding of the material. Plus, it's super effective for future reference. When I revisit a book's mind map, it's like I'm instantly transported back to its core concepts, and my memory is refreshed, no more forgetting essential takeaways. Now let's talk about the next technique I've been working on, which is recording my personal reflections on the books I read. This step takes my reading journey to a whole new level, and let me tell you why. After mind mapping the book, I add another layer of depth to my notes. I jot down my thoughts, opinions, and how I relate to the book's content on a personal level. It's like having a conversation with myself about the book's impact and how I can apply the newfound knowledge to my life. You might be worried about your writing skills, but don't be. Remember, these reflections are personal and meant for your eyes only. There's no judgment here. It's all about fostering a deeper connection with the material and yourself. I cannot emphasize enough how powerful this technique has been for me. By reflecting on each book, I'm not only internalizing the content, but also growing as an individual. These reflections serve as reminders of my journey, showing how far I've come and how much more I can achieve. And now, we come to the final technique that has been a game changer for me, building a personal knowledge hub. Imagine having a treasure trove of wisdom, insights, and experiences, all at your fingertips. This is precisely what a personal knowledge hub is, a digital repository of all the lessons, quotes, and nuggets of wisdom I've collected over time. As I mentioned earlier, I use Notion for my knowledge hub, but you can use any tool that fits your preferences. Here, I categorize everything by different aspects of my life, professional skills, communication tips, life hacks, and more. I'll be honest, building a knowledge hub takes time and effort, but it's well worth it. Whenever I come across an inspiring quote or stumble upon a valuable piece of advice, I immediately add it to my hub. It's like growing a garden of knowledge that keeps on giving. And there you have it, the culmination of my reading journey. From mind mapping to personal reflections and building a knowledge hub, these techniques have completely transformed the way I approach books and learning. Remember, the goal is not to become a perfect reader, but to embrace the journey of continuous growth and improvement. Enjoy the process and don't hesitate to explore new books and ideas. You'll be amazed at the wisdom waiting to be unlocked. Well, that wraps up our journey for today. I hope you found these techniques as valuable as I did. Happy reading, happy learning, and until next time, keep embracing knowledge and the wonders it brings. That's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed this content, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on future updates. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay curious and keep thriving. Goodbye.